I think it's absolutely crazy that I had a whole birthday during an entire pandemic. I want to see the manager. I want a do-over. I want a refund.
Online savage, real life average. Online savage, real life average.
Online savage, real life average. Now, you know that I had to throw in some Instagram captions when I was making this record, when I was making this EP. Make sure that you're going to whatever streaming service you have, okay? And streaming digital, just search digital and Adrian Expression is gonna be there. I wanna hear your thoughts. I wanna see y'all dancing. I wanna see y'all making TikToks. I wanna repost them. I wanna put in my videos. Get your entire life. But yes, like I've been running my mouth all week, my birthday has just passed April 19th, and on my birthday I released my EP, so you already know what's going on with that. Like I said, stream it, check it out, let me know what you think. Also, the girls are on Patreon at patreon.com/AdrianExpression, letting me know what they want me to talk about for the podcast episode that I will be releasing on Tuesday. It's giving content on top of content on top of content every week on patreon.com/AdrianExpression. I will be reviewing all the episodes this season, so that is going to be something exciting, and I already did it in my previous podcast episode. Cannot wait to do it again. Make sure you sign up to Patreon so that you can be a part of it. And since we're already talking about what's going on, I already brought up Insecure. Now, I had this whole declaration about Molly in the past. I said she was a hater, she's doing too much, she really needs to calm that down. But now that I watched this recent episode, I'm like, okay, I feel like Molly is really growing in a lot of ways, and maybe she's not getting the feedback or the support that she needs, especially when Issa did this whole thing where she invited Molly to lunch, but then Condola, she ended up making Condola stay too. So it's just like, it's this weird space where Molly's growing, and I think she needs some support, or some support would be nice, and she's just not getting that from the environment around her. But yeah, I want to go into more detail on this during the podcast episode, so make sure that you're signed up. And just a heads up for you guys who are Issa fans, she's coming out with this movie called The Lovebirds. It's giving like crime comedy type of tease, so yeah, that's going to be on Netflix May 22nd. The trailer was funny, so if that sounds like something you want to check out, make sure you keep that in mind. Speaking of checking things out, I definitely did not check out that, and I did all that talking about Lady Gaga putting together this whole One World Together at Home concert. I did not check out the concert. I'm sorry, but now I did pay attention when Beyonce's face done popped up, global citizen type of tease, and she was just talking. She said, "Hey girl," she had a cute little Skype message for us. If you thought that you were going to see inside of her house, sis, you definitely had another thing coming. She was on top of her roof, and she just talked about how the coronavirus is affecting people like sanitation workers, grocery store employees, people in healthcare. She also talked about how the virus is really impacting the Black community. She shouted out and referenced her hometown, Houston. It was nice to see the good sis pop up yet again, surprised me. But if I'm being real, that's really all I saw from the concert. Something else that I saw while looking at this video of Beyonce is that sis is starting to look more and more like Mama Tina every day. She is. I looked at that video, I was like, damn, it's corny joke time already? Nah, but she has Tina's whole face. Speaking of this family, Blue Ivy had this message to give to us.
Then, put your finger in it and the virus goes out. This is why it's very important to wash your hands.
Now, I know that I've seen this demonstration already in the past, but it's just like you're around kids, they present you something that you've already seen, you just have to smile and laugh, like, oh my gosh, yes. And especially since it's Blue Ivy, who's already a very successful manager. We know she manages Beyonce's career, a very talented songwriter. She's already charted, a businesswoman. She owns her own, like I said, a management company. So, coming from Blue Ivy, who's telling us to wash our dirty hands, we have no choice. There's no other pathway to take but to just stand at the supreme hygiene skills that Blue Ivy no doubt has. Something else that happened over the weekend, I really was not paying attention to a whole lot of news because, like I said, it was my birthday weekend, so I was just trying to relax. But something that did not get the people relaxed, it actually got them riled up, was the fact that Teddy Riley was over here. I don't know what he thought he was going on, like a whole world tour. So Teddy Riley and Babyface, they were advertising this whole like IG battle and stuff. I mean, Teddy even got some flack because he wanted people to pay for the stream. He wanted people to pay to watch him perform on Instagram and shit. So he, all of that was going on. They advertising it. They get ready, girl, the legends are coming and we're gonna have a battle, a sickening battle. Okay, so I saw a whole bunch of battles before already. So what I expected was to see Teddy and to see Babyface as just, you know, maybe in their homes in a cute little studio. Babyface actually was in a cute little studio and just playing their songs back to back, and that's it. This nigga Teddy said, girl, I'm gonna give y'all a whole performance. I'm gonna act like my label just approved 10-20 dates on a countrywide tour. I'm gonna act like I'm in an auditorium, a whole stadium, and that's it. So, you know, you expect, you bringing all this stuff out, I'm like, okay, what's going on? What's the audio giving? The audio was giving, you know, I'm speaking into an aluminum can type of tease. That's what Teddy audio was serving us. And I know that he was mad because I'm sure he hired all those people expecting everything to be on point. I know how it feels to get in front of a whole lot of people and be like, oh girl, my bad, let's do this over. But it's just, I feel like a lot of that could have been avoided, and Swiss and Timberland was talking about this too. I feel like a lot of that could have been avoided if you don't have to bring the whole marching band, the whole circus in here. It's just like, damn, and you talk about social distancing, but it seems like you have somebody's whole like production cast and crew inside the same space as you, sis. It was just a lot. It was a lot. And what's crazy is that Babyface was sitting there like, okay, I'm ready. Like, he was just like, okay. And I think his audio was definitely better than Teddy. So he had everything together. He was just like, girl, let me just press play on a couple of my songs. Teddy was up there. I thought the lights were gonna go out, like a spotlight was there. All Teddy was missing was a fog machine, a couple of burlesque dancers. I was like, sis, but they said they were actually gonna have a whole rematch. Now this rematch is supposed to be taking place on the day that I'm recording this. I'm not sure when you're watching it. It's either Monday or Tuesday, but the rematch is supposed to happen on Monday. So hopefully, you know, they'll get that shit together and we can actually have a cute little battle. Now, I just want these battles and stuff to be fun and cute. And yes, play your music, have some fun, and that's it. Like these niggas coming out here and pulling out all the stops like they auditioning or something. Like, since we know what you're capable of, it's an Instagram battle. We don't expect, you know, skydivers coming down from the top of somebody's auditorium. We understand it. We understand it's just on Instagram, boo. It's all right. I mean, they have 400,000 people watching. And honestly, I'm just poking fun. I understand, like I said before, how it feels to be on stage or in front of people and something is not going right. Like, I think about all the times my audio on my live streams was just off and y'all was just like, sis, you know you're still talking. We understand you're still talking, but we can't hear you, okay? But I just want Teddy to know that he can leave the huge speakers and the 10,000 microphones and the dancers and the carpenters, the plumbers, the architects. He can leave the waiters and the chefs off of his Instagram. I promise you, it's okay. Like, just play the songs we want to hear and that's it. All right, so what's another big story? Miss TikTok. You know, every single time I see TikTok trend, it's for nothing cute. It's never for anything beautiful. It's always like, does TikTok have this weird written thing in their terms and conditions where you have to be a weirdo racist to use their apps or something? Like, why is it every time I'm getting on, I'm seeing niggas dancing to Megan Thee Stallion, I'm seeing niggas singing in harmony and making up dance challenges and stuff. But when you move over to the other side of TikTok, racist TikTok, a cultural appropriation, racism, nigga. It's just like, whoa. It's just like some people can't help it. They were desperately needing a platform, even though they have so many already. They were desperately needing a video platform to just spew all the racism out. So maybe it's like they have some type of racism constipation. So when it finally comes out, it's like, oh, a sigh of relief or something. Y'all were waiting for TikTok to do this type of stuff? I don't understand. One of the biggest stories that came out of this, and I made sure I got their names, is this racist TikTok couple, Stephanie Freeman and Jeffrey Hume, girl. They said they did this fake cooking challenge where it's just like they pour in different ingredients to make black people, and they definitely did not say black people. They said the whole N word with the hard ass R, and they said, you know, one of the ingredients is, you know, not knowing your dad, trying to rob people. And so I just want to make sure that everyone knows their names, Stephanie Freeman and Jeffrey Hume. Now, this went viral immediately, and the girls wasted no time on social media. They said, girl, we're going to find out where you at. All right, and we're gonna make sure your school understands what's going on. You know, I almost slipped up and said that they go to Carrollton High School, and that's definitely not true because they're expelled. So they used to go to Carrollton High School, and this is what the principal, David Brooks, said. He did a whole investigation or whatever, and he gave a press release, a news release, and he said, well, part of it said, even if the offending incident was recorded after school hours, it doesn't alleviate the student's responsibility to uphold a high standard of behavior. It is our priority to keep our schools safe, and there is no doubt this incident has caused significant tension at Carrollton High School across the district, state, and nation, even the world. So not only did their principal release that statement, got their ass out of here, expelled like shit, the city mayor had to release a statement, I guess, and the superintendent also released a statement. They got dragged across the internet, and it was something so delicious to see. But what was more tasty, what had more flavor, was watching Stephanie Freeman go insane on, I think it was her Instagram story. I'll show you one of the things that she said, because I mean, the world started reading her down, obviously, because she was, if you're bold enough to say some shit like that and post it, here come the consequences. You need to just be mad at yourself. This is one of the things that she says. You know, she wants to stop being harassed. You do not know what this feels like. I think that's so ironic that she thinks that the people who were most offended by what she said don't understand how it feels when she was literally making them feel that way. And even further, she says she's pressed that people are not caring what's in your heart, what's in her heart, or what you're really like, I guess, on the inside. It's just like, wow, you don't think black people, minorities have had to deal with that? People not caring what they actually are on the inside, sus, what their heart is? It's just like, girl, sit your ass down. She's like, oh, it's just regular teenage stuff. Imagine you're just a stupid teenager just going along with stupid teenager stuff. What else did she say? She said, my boyfriend is racist, and he slowly normalized his racism on me. I don't know how that works. Then, of course, as good racists do, they bring up their God. They bring up white Jesus. I believe blacks are human too, made in the image of Christ. Sis, please. And you know, that tired ass couple is definitely not the only one who's been doing stuff like this. I saw some other girl get dragged for, I guess, bringing up the whole cotton picking thing. I just think that you really have to have, like, there's nothing going on up there if the first thing that comes to your head when you're trying to be funny is, oh, let me make a cotton picking slave a racist joke. That ought to do it. It's just, whew. And of course you have those people who are just like, no, they're just high schoolers, you can't ruin their whole life. It's just like, no, you can say what you want to say, sis, but the consequences definitely do follow. That's the first thing. The second thing is we have to make sure we can't get rid of all these racist people, but if we can definitely identify one that you can keep away from other students, especially black students, for their safety, that's a good thing. The third thing is that sometimes people like that think that they should be automatically excused no matter how many mistakes they make. They should not have to face any consequences for their actions. Meanwhile, some of the minorities, the same black people, the same discriminated against people that they're making fun of or being hateful towards, those same people are never given those types of chances, just endless chances in this society. Whole lives ruined, whole segments of populations, you know, imprisoned. Oftentimes the consequences come from actions that they didn't even fucking take. They don't get a do-over, especially when these issues disproportionately affect their communities. Like, if you're gonna say that stuff, just be bold and stand up in it. You did it, girl, and now your ass can't graduate. So one of the stupidest things I think I've ever seen in my life are all these idiots in the street gathered up, and I know I mentioned this already, but you know, in the streets gathered up without any masks, bringing their kids to this stuff. I mean, I'll show you a flyer for one of these quote unquote protests. Just angry that they have to stay in their houses, they can't gather around, they can't go to a bar, can't take their ass to no beaches. But I mean, I guess that's not the case for Florida, since they want to open that stuff back up. And it's just like, I'm hearing all these experts saying, says we should not be opening up anything unless we can get adequate testing. And that's not happening. I mean, Trump is over here talking about, oh well, liberate these states, liberate the states, the same states that are under the same guidelines that his own administration has set up. It's not making any sense. These people are out here. I mean, I saw one woman say, I want a haircut. And you know, before I even jump further into that, I think it's so ironic that people like that, these same types of people will look at protests that are talking about freedom from discrimination. They will look at protests about police brutality. They will look at protests about equal pay, whatever it is, and think that those people are ridiculous. They need to stop. People can't even kneel down. But let sis miss her haircut. I think it's absolutely crazy that people will be protesting for rights over their own body, especially women, and they're often ridiculed. And then you have idiots like this using that same type of language for a stupid purpose. And if the virus did not spread from these idiots, I would just be like, yeah, y'all can do whatever you want. You can take your ass to work. You can go to church if you want to. Yes, I would say yes, please do it. But if it wasn't for those children who are subjected to their parents' idiocy, and if it wasn't for the fact that the virus spreads no matter if you're being a dumbass or not, you know, they're putting the whole population at risk, that's the only reason why, you know, we actually have to be concerned. But if Miss Rona didn't spread like that, I'd be like, yeah, let them do what they want to do. Let them do what they want to do. It's crazy that these healthcare workers have to do things like this. This is in Denver. Never thought you could politicize a whole virus, but here we are. Acting like, you know, your rights are being taken away. Your right. This is my right to do whatever I want. When people like the CDC are telling y'all, girl, if you want to be in these crowds and stuff, your ass is more likely to pass away. And the fact that these people think that losing their ability to go out and get a mimosa is the government ripping away their rights really speaks to how privileged they are, that their government trying to protect them. You know what I mean? That them not being able to go to somebody's club is just a catastrophic stripping away of their rights. That really displays what type of life they've been privileged to live. But yes, on that note, I'm done running my mouth. Like I said, make sure you check out patreon.com/AdrianExpression. New podcast episode comes out. Check out digital on all streaming platforms. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you stay safe and have a good goddamn evening.